Cyberpunk has been seeing a lot of attention lately, both for 2077 and now Cyberpunk 2, which is the name that was officially recognized yesterday by CDPR during their latest earnings call, moving away, of course, from Project Orion. And this news has been coming in seemingly every day and from multiple angles and sources. We've seen interviews, tweets, cryptic messages by the dozens, and a lot more. And that's what I want to take a deep dive into today. Everything Cyberpunk, along with the latest news coming to us via CDPR. If at any time you feel like supporting the channel, please take a moment to hit subscribe and to ring the notifications bell while setting the alerts to receive all. And now, let's get into all the latest from Cyberpunk. During yesterday's CD Projekt Group earnings call, we learned some new details for Cyberpunk 2, as it was officially referred to during the call.
I'm pleased to share that Cyberpunk 2, which we had previously referred to as Project Orion, successfully concluded its concept phase a few weeks ago and has transitioned into pre-production.
Which we will talk about later in this video, but for now, let's concentrate on 2077. And we just learned that Phantom Liberty has now reached 10 million copies sold, which includes individual copies sold along with those included in the Ultimate Edition bundle. Now, the last time we received an update from CDPR on Phantom Liberty was late last year, when they revealed that 2077's only expansion to date had reached 8 million copies. And to sum it up, that's 2 million more units in 6 months' time. So 2077 is still producing for CDPR, and I suspect we'll do even more based on what's right around the corner. Because in a little over a week's time, 2077 will see two significant events. The first being the long-anticipated release of the Nintendo Switch 2, and with it, as a launch day release, will be Cyberpunk 2077. One day later, June 6th, is Summer Games Fest, where CDPR is already confirmed to be attending, for sure to show off how the game performs on the latest edition of Switch, and possibly to reveal something yet not publicized, although that's just me theorizing. A lot of anticipation is riding on the release of the Switch 2 in tandem with Cyberpunk 2077, where it was revealed on the call that CDPR has made a significant financial investment totaling $2.66 million to ensure that the game is ready for launch day in the best possible state and to take full advantage of the new specs built into the Switch 2. Further speculation about the potential profits of the game launching day one on the latest from Nintendo was asked during the call, but no definitive answer was provided. Moving away from the Switch 2 news, and we next need to ask, what in the hell has been going on with 2077 lately, especially with the Steam backend for a supposedly finished and done with game? Now, not only has the game's avatar been changed from what some are calling a stapler over to the more recognizable shot of the back of V and then back again several times, but the game's Steam Store banner has also been significantly altered, with V very clearly moving locations on the banner, and the logo has also been changed from yellow to black. We've also seen this birthdays and anniversaries calendar showing the characters from the game, with 6 slots at the bottom labeled as data encrypted, which, since it was published, has not been mentioned again, but it clearly leaves a lot of unanswered questions hanging out there. Who are these mysterious 6 individuals, and how do they relate to the future of Cyberpunk 2077? Along with the announcement made during the reveal of the Virtuous-led update.
And maybe we still have a surprise or two left for you.
Maybe.
You will see soon enough.
Okay.
It certainly feels like there is more than strong evidence that 2077 is not only going to see more updates in the future, but could potentially see a second DLC to bring it equal with the studio's other major success, The Witcher 3. Now, fans of Cyberpunk have long pointed to that game as proof that 2077 will see yet another expansion, as The Witcher 3 received both Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine during its main development release cycle. More recently, we've even seen Marta, whose last name I will not attempt here on the video out of fear I might butcher it, but anyways, she's the Polish voice actor for Judy, posting this to Instagram, which when translates reads, And another day is behind me. I'm not around here much these days because I'm on set, and while I'm there, I put my phone aside. We'll have to wait a bit longer to see the results of our work. And I'm growing more and more fond of my new character. Of course, I can't reveal any details, but I hope that once again, some of you will see yourselves and your stories reflected in hers like in a mirror. With this posting after she was at CDPR doing some sort of work. And the theories here again have already been surfacing that it might have something to do with those 6 encrypted characters on the birthdays timeline, or this could be the start of something entirely new, as in a new DLC. Where CDPR is a bit more flexible and open about when it comes to the future content for 2077 is outside media, as discussed within the conversation of their business flywheel approach, including TV, film, mobile games, and more. Now, in addition to an unannounced project with Fool's Theory, there's also the live action project being headed up by Anonymous, along with the next iteration of Edge Runners, releasing in 2026 in combo with Wuthering Waves. There's also the possibility of a Cyberpunk mobile game, as we already know that CDPR is in partnership with Scopely, noted mobile games developer, to make something. Could it be something related to Cyberpunk? Again, not known. And this mobile title will pop up again a bit later in the video. Of course, the other major news is that Project Orion, the next Cyberpunk game, was officially recognized by a different name on yesterday's call.
I'm pleased to share that Cyberpunk 2, which we had previously referred to as Project Orion, successfully concluded its concept phase a few weeks ago and has transitioned into pre-production.
With an ongoing ramp-up and developers assigned to the project, now nearly touching 100 in total. Now, CDPR also recognized the fact that Cyberpunk 2 had moved into pre-production several weeks ago, and that is significant, as based on previous studio release timelines, they normally take 4 to 5 years in production before releasing. For instance, The Witcher 3 entered pre-production in 2011 and eventually launched in 2015. To further reinforce how long it will be before we see Cyberpunk 2, that question was asked of management, citing the normal 4 to 5 year turnaround, which earned this response.
Our journey from the pre-production to the final release takes 4 to 5 years on average, so a little bit less than I think what you said in the question. Having said that, keep in mind that each project is unique, and there are many variables that influence the final outcomes. So I will not lead you into specific years, but yeah, I mean, this is pretty much how it looks like.
In terms of Cyberpunk 2, Mike Pondsmith was recently interviewed at Digital Dragons, where he talked a little bit about what to expect this sequel to be built around.
I spent a lot of time talking to one of the environment guys, and he was explaining how the new place in Orion, because there's another city we visit. I'm not telling you any more than that, but there's another city we visit, and Night City's still there, but I remember looking at it and going, yeah, I understand the feel that you're going for this, and this really does work. And it doesn't feel like Blade Runner. It feels more like Chicago gone wrong. And I said, yeah, I can see, this working.
Which, of course, anytime Pondsmith speaks, that makes headlines. And possibly this was not supposed to be made public, but it certainly was attention-grabbing. Diving a little further into the details about this new city connection and, of course, Night City, and in the original series, Night Corp had created a transcontinental maglev network, which was hinted to connect Night City with this new location, possibly Chicago. Now, that idea of being able to freely travel between several cyberpunk locations has certainly piqued many players' interest. Speaking of which, alongside the news about Cyberpunk 2's multiple cities information, there's also a second very hot topic centered on how long it will be before we see this new title. Again, that was all but confirmed that we are looking at 4 to 5 years from several weeks ago. What will Cyberpunk do to fill that void? Because outside of re-releases and small updates, 4 to 5 years is a lot of time. And again, that conversation turns back to a second major DLC for 2077, possibly on the moon, which is where you can comment down below as to what and where you think a 2077 DLC could take place. And finally, adding even more fuel to this potential future content discussion for 2077 was the fact where CDPR staff revealed they currently have 9 total projects in the works, but when we take a look at their long-term outlook update, there's only 6 showing. 3 for The Witcher, Cyberpunk 2, Project Hadar, and the unannounced project developed by Fool's Theory. But when pressed on the matter as to what the composition of these 3 mystery titles were, the answer was
2 projects are gaming projects and 1 is not.
Which I find fascinating. Who knows, maybe it's my hope for Cyberpunk 2077, but my feeling here is that based on the 4 to 5 years turnaround before Cyberpunk 2 arrives and the confirmation that 2 of these mysteries are indeed gaming titles, we just might be looking at our long-desired second expansion for 2077. What are your thoughts on all the new information? Are you excited for Cyberpunk 2? And what are your thoughts on a second DLC finally arriving for 2077? Remember to hit subscribe and to ring the notifications bell so you never miss my future upload alerts. I have an entire Cyberpunk playlist you can find down in the video description and pinned comments. Thank you so much to our channel members for the support and making content just like this possible. And until the next one, this is Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear, signing off.